Alright, algebras. We want to make sure that we know how to write the linear equation in slope-intercept form. Slope-intercept form is y is equal to mx plus b. M is your slope and b is your y-intercept. Sometimes they give us the information and it's easy and fast. Sometimes we have to do some math. When I look here, I have my y-intercept and I can count my slope on this graph. So this y-intercept is easy to fill in. So y is equal to, I have to fill in my slope, and I can go ahead right away and fill in my intercept of 3. My slope is my rise, 1, 2, 3, over my run, 1, 2, 3. My slope is equal to 3 over 3, which is 1. We write the equation in simplest form, understanding that 1 is the slope. Here is my y-intercept, and my slope is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So if my slope is 4 over 4, I know right away my slope is 1, my intercept is 0. Hey, look, there's our parent function. We talked about him last unit. Okay, right away I can see this slope is negative, so I want to make sure that when I find my slope, I remember I have to have a negative. A fall of 1, 2, and a run of 1 gives me a slope of, a fall of 2 and a run of 1. And lucky for me, there's my y-intercept. So my equation is equal to negative 2x, there's my slope, and my intercept is positive 1. So those three were pretty easy. We'll see how these ones go. My slope is equal to, can't tell because these are points, and can't tell because those are not integer points. So my first job is to find my slope. I want my change in my y's over my change in my x's. My change in my y's over my change in my x's. So my slope is equal to 3 minus 1 is 2. 6 minus 4 is 2. So I end up with a slope equal to 1. When I want to find my intercept, I have to plug into y equals mx plus b. And I can use either point. I can say I'm going to choose to use this point here. So my 1 goes in for my y. This 1 goes in for my slope. This 4 goes in for my x. And I realize I have a y-intercept of negative 3. That makes sense down here. So when I go ahead and I fill in my equation, my y is equal to my slope of 1 minus 3. Alright, next step. Again, I can't see my y-intercept. And again, this time I can count my slope. Rise, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and run, negative 1, 2. So my slope is equal to 6, negative 2. My slope is equal to negative 3. When I want to find my y-intercept, I can tell it's going to happen sometime down here, so I'll have to solve for it. I'll use y is equal to mx plus b. I'll choose this point. So I'm looking at an output of 4 is the result of my slope times my x plus my b. My 4 is equal to positive 9 plus b. My b is equal to negative 5. Subtract 9 from each side. That makes sense because it's way down here below where I can see on the graph. So my solution is y is equal to my slope, -3, times my x, oops, not minus b, -5. And there I have my answers. Alright, so here we go, this last one. I don't see my y-intercept at an integer, and neither of these points are able for me to count. So I'll go ahead and I'll find my slope using math. My slope is equal to my change in my y's over my change in my x's. So 1 minus -7 over 1 minus -1. That's going to be equal to 1 plus 7 is 8, and 1 plus 1 is 2, so my slope is equal to 4. Now I need to solve for my equation. Y is equal to mx plus b. I'll choose this point. It's much easier. Output of 1 is equal to my slope of 4. Input of 1 plus b. 1 is equal to 4 plus b. Subtract 4 from each side. -3 is equal to b. That makes sense. It crosses right there. So my equation for this one, draw a little line here, where y is equal to my slope and my intercept. Alright, so for each of these, we want to write the line in slope-intercept form that goes through the points. Your first step is going to be to solve for the slope, and then plug it in to solve for the intercept. So I like this one because I see my intercept. I like this one because I see my intercept. And I like this one because I see my intercept. So each first step is to solve for slope. -6 minus 0 over 3 minus 0. First step is solve for slope. 3 minus 4 over -1 minus 0. Solve for slope. M is equal to 0 minus 9 over -2 minus -5. Once you solve for slope, then you plug into y is equal to mx plus b. My slope here is -6 over 3, which is going to be equal to -2. When I plug in, I can choose any point. I like this one best. 0 is equal to -2 times 0 plus b. B is equal to 0. My equation is y is equal to my slope times my x. Every equation has an x and a y. With this one, I'm going to go ahead and 3 minus 4 is -1. -1 minus 0 is -1, so that's going to be 1. They gave me my intercept, so y is equal to x plus 4. 0 minus 9 is -9. -2 plus 5 is going to be 3. My slope is equal to -3. Y is equal to mx plus b. I'm going to go ahead and use this point. I like this one better. 0 is the outcome when -3 is the slope. -2 is the input. 0 is equal to 6 plus b. B is equal to -6. Therefore, my equation is y is equal to, here's my slope, -3x Here's my intercept, minus 6. Remember, your first step is to find the slope, then plug into y equals mx plus b. Good luck with the rest.